Francis, and today I want to introduce a novel to you called King of Gods. So this is another wuxia novel, and again, if you haven't watched our last videos, then just remember that you can click on the links below, or you can scan the QR code to join our WhatsApp group, where you can find lots of wuxia novels, some of which I'm sure you'll love. And you can also meet new people in the wuxia community who I'm sure you'll really get on with. So, this book, King of Gods, the author is called Coiling, which I think means fast food restaurant. But yeah, it sounds better in Chinese, so we'll stick to that, Coiling. The plot of this novel can seem a little cliche at first to those of you who are used to reading wuxia novels, but I urge you to stick with it because it's a really complicated book. It's very long, so the plot really progresses and the story really grows throughout. So at the start, the protagonist is called Zhao Feng, and Zhao Feng is working towards becoming a kung fu master. At the start, he is pretty disappointed, I would say, at his lack of progress. So he's not really getting where he wants to be. That is until an accident happens. And in this accident, his left eye becomes merged with that of a god. So as you can imagine, it completely changes his life, this freak accident that he has. And it sets him on a path where he's actually working towards attaining immortality. So it's a pretty big deal. The world of this story is really detailed. I've already mentioned that the story is quite long, but it's actually over 1,000 chapters. And it's full of really interesting and well-written characters, as well as lots of unique weapons. And it can be really interesting to see how Zhao Feng uses these weapons and who he's fighting against. So when it comes to his enemies and the characters in general, one of the most interesting and unique characters in this book is a character called Wu Hen, who is actually Zhao Feng's main enemy. But unlike a typical enemy you'll get in a wuxia book, he's actually not a bad guy. His background is pretty mysterious, and you don't know much about him at first, but like everything with this book, it really grows into his backstory, and he ends up becoming a really likable character. So he's actually a lot of people's favorites, even though he's supposed to be the main enemy. And that's something that you'll see mirrored a lot in this story. So some of the things that seem like quite traditional, typical aspects are really turned around. So the fantasy world that this character had to work his way through and fights in to gain immortality is really well written, and it's really exciting to see if Zhao Feng is going to be able to become the master that he wants to be, or if his newfound powers are just going to be too much for him. So if this sounds like the type of book that you would be interested in, make sure to look at the link below. And of course, if you like wuxia novels and want to hear about more, you can subscribe to us, and yeah, we're going to be introducing new ones all the time. So I will see you again soon, and hopefully you'll be able to check out King of Gods, and hopefully you'll love it. Thanks, and bye!